Hello, hello, welcome everybody. I'm John 1988, and this is the Open Weekly. We are here with four fantastic runners: Smirk, Armlix, Nira, and Andrew. And I am here with my co-commentator Alex. Hi, Alex.
Oh, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever day it is to all of you.
Yep. So this is an Open Weekly. That means Hyrule Castle is open. 7 crystals to get into Ganon's tower, and 7 crystals to defeat Ganon. Although we'll see if anything extra happens along the way. And they should be starting soon. So just a full heart container in Link's house, and all our runners deciding to go to Link's house now. We'll see if there's any divergence. It appears as though Nira is going to be going to Sanctuary, whilst the other 3 are going to be visiting the uncle. And yeah, just a map in Sanctuary.
Well, interestingly enough, Nira at least getting that info that there's going to be an extra item in Hyrule Castle there. As we get a map check, and there's just a blue crystal in Desert and red and blue pendants in Eastern and Hera.
So we know that that's the bug net in the, near Uncle, and Uncle having 3 bombs. So yeah, that means we know that the green pendant is in the Dark World, as well as 5-6 crystals. So yeah, a lot of items basically there.
But we do get a pretty easy confirmation that there's the extra item there in the back of Escape and not in the Sanctuary. So that, I think under some people's circumstances, might put Escape in a much higher light.
Yeah. So Smirk is going up to Saha. Nira has checked what Lumberjack Cave is. I didn't see what it is. Did you see that, Alex?
I did not. But I think we might get to see it on Andrew's side here in just a second.
Yeah, chat is saying it's 10 arrows.
I was going to say, unless our trackers or chat got it. And our trackers tonight are Shandis and Raka.
Yep. So Smirk has just got the gloves from Sahasrara. Nira has gotten the bottle from the normal mushroom spot in Lost Woods. And welcome, Raiders. So yeah, we'll be seeing a few more items soon. Most of our runners will probably be going into Kakariko. Smirk is going to be doing the back of Escape. So there's 3 items here, able to drop him because he got the power glove from Sahasrara. And these 3 items are 5 rupees, a key, and 50 rupees. Well, that's more Zora money, I guess.
Meanwhile, Nira and Armlux here in the back of Blind's hut. 20 rupees. 20 more rupees. A piece of heart. And the final item is 50 rupees. Well, not a final item. We have one more. At least on Armlux's side.
We have the back, yes. So, what is that final? Just 20 rupees. So not much in Blind's hut today. And yeah, Nira's just going to have to purchase bombs in order to access the back of Blind's hut here. And it appears there wasn't much on the cellar, I believe.
It was 20 rupees. 100 rupees for 20 rupees. Not a very good deal, if you ask me.
Yeah, I wish it went the other way. But yeah, so Nira getting a sword in the well as well as a bottle. The moon pearl in the, the bombable area of the well. That's quite big because if Nira doesn't take the time to get some bombs, basically Nira might miss out on all of this. Most likely, he'll come back and actually get that moon pearl.
Well, those
Well,
3 free bombs are actually pretty nice. You could actually take advantage of Bombable Hut with that case and just farm
yeah.
bombs instead of buying them. And another 3 bombs. No, you don't really need to do it anymore. There was a blue boomerang inside of Dam as well, by the way. And that's saying, Shanda's saying, at least, the chance of Boots being on island. I did not see it. I think it was Andrew who ventured towards it, but I did not see it.
Yeah, I did not see it. But that wouldn't be nice to see. Definitely. So, yeah, right now we're seeing the check that we haven't seen yet is Smirk. Going to be doing mini Moldorm Cave and going to be using bombs in order to destroy the Moldorms. Yeah. Shame that Smirk hasn't been to Kakariko, but it's how randomizers are. You never know where your sword will be. But yeah. That was very well done there. We find out that there's nothing on the library, and there's a hammer in Mini Moldorm Cave that Smirk has just got, so things will be a little bit easier. And with that, with our knowledge, not with what everybody has, but with our knowledge, eventually we'll know that our runners will get to Dark World access.
There's Nira going back and grabbing his Moon Pearl out of the back of Well.
Yep.
Meanwhile, we have a fake flipper from Smirk as well.
Yep. Probably be... Smirk will probably try to do underneath the bridge, as well as possibly Waterfall Fairy. So that'll be 3 checks out of logic, but if they prove fruitful, they might be really good. And then there's nothing below the bridge. Nira's now getting the information that boots aren't needed for library, at least, although you've still got Bonkrox and you've still got Ganon's Tower and Desert Palace. So those are all maybes, but they
I
can
just gotta
still
say,
lock it.
like, I'm very interested that the 3 runners that we saw do it all went and blind checked race game. And, like, there's an unspoken rule of just, like, unless it's a key sanity seed or a seed that has extra item placements, map compass bosses stuff, usually you don't check that blind, and all of them did it. I just think that's pretty interesting.
That is pretty interesting, really. I have very, very rarely seen every single runner do that. It is a possible check to, just effectively go for the check itself and hope that you've got something good. And that's the lamp, and that's the lamp in Agina's cave. So that will
There's a
bring...
mountain.
Yeah. Well, not for Amlex, but yeah, that definitely gives Mountain overall once Amlex gets the the
Right, for
gloves
us
from
knowing
Zaha.
as commentators. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just waiting for these runners to get the items that the other runners haven't. And honestly, at this stage, the one item that might, give some time to some runners is actually those gloves on Zaha. A lot of runners orphan Zaha until, like, it could be a last possibility for them. Well, a last location. So Desert Ledge just being a piece of heart on Andrew's side, we won't have to worry about that.
Gotta say, I kind of like Nearest Path with this as well, going into Escape here, having the sword, making a really nice escape sequence. But just knowing that we have that extra item here in Escape as well, because the map was already found.
Yes. Nero will definitely be giving us new information by going down to the, the basement of Escape, effectively.
And there's a bow.
Yep, so definitely useful. There are 2 bows in this game. If you get both of them, you do get silvers. But yeah, that bow is really useful for Eastern Palace. Might even lead Nira closer to Sahasra. And honestly, Eastern Palace, it does have 3 possible items in it. So it could have something good in there. Andrew's going to be getting his hammer soon, which is 1/2 of the puzzle for, well, 1/3 of the puzzle for Dark World accents. And I did see it was red on Armlix's side. Did we finally see whether it was the boots or not?
I'd say that time I was also still not paying attention somehow.
I'm gonna take my bets on it and say that looked like the boots enough to me.
I guess we still have a chance of seeing it over here on Andrew's side too. But Armlix going into Saha's hut. Gonna find out that our green pendant is Swamp Palace.
Yep. Well, this will be Amlix's Dark World access, which means a ton more checks have opened up to him. However, what it does mean is that Amlix is probably not going to be doing a lot of Light World checks at the moment. So there's always the possibility that if there's, if there's something, for instance, in Eastern Palace, or if the other bow is somehow, in Ganon's tower, Amlix will have to be going back to the front of Escape in order to get that bow.
Well, that was a red crystal in Skullwoods and Turtle Rock, blue crystals in the rest, and green pendant there in Swamp. So Ice Rod will be required.
Yeah. So Smirk is in the Dark World, in Skullwoods, and yeah, 2 items in here. Won't be possible to get into the back yet because there's no fire rod as of yet. But it's always possible there's a fire rod here. But Smirk is going into Village of Outcasts. While Amlix is going to, the back of Escape. Probably going to find this 1 item in Dark Cross, and it is the Master Sword. That's really useful. There are 4 possible sword upgrades in the game, but difference between fighters and masters is amazing.
Game completing, if you could say.
Indeed.
But Nira, interestingly, going into the mini Moldarm cave here, not having gone towards Againa's cave yet and finding that lantern and being able to get full logical access to Eastern Palace.
Yes. The only thing Andrew can't do at the moment is, unless there's a bow in Eastern, Andrew can't full clear Eastern, which full clearing Eastern could give you 1 item if the item was on the boss, but hopefully this won't be the case for Andrew. Also, Amlix is now going into, what has been called Hype Cave. And we've got rupees, hearts, the fire rod, and some more rupees. So I think it's been pretty hype.
I think that's pretty nice. 620 rupees, a full heart container, a fire rod. Meanwhile, Smirk has not really been looking out here in Village of Outcasts. Did get another empty bottle for his troubles, but we'll see if Thieves Town has anything really to provide other than just a crystal.
Yeah, just looking at things. Yeah, Pod will need a bow, effectively. So it's possible all our runners, apart from Nira, will have to go into the front of Escape. Sorry, Hyrule Castle. So Smirk at the moment is in Thieves Town. That's got quite a few items associated with it, I believe 4. Armlix is, well, checked Pyramid Ledge. There was nothing there. Oh, it's not the boots, it's the powder. I checked it on Nira's side this time.
I very slightly caught it, but yeah, I agree. I believe it looked like the powder to me.
And there is very bad news for Andrew, because both the map and the compass have been found in Eastern Palace. That means the boss has to have an item.
There was a vanilla big key there in Thieves Town as well, so we're looking at, I think, 2 items in the back. I think we found 2 in the front. Remember, one of them was a rupee reward. I don't know what the other one might have been.
Umlix is going to be checking an out-of-the-way check. This is the catfish check. A lot of players just decide to orphan this. If this is anything big, this might mean the difference. Umlix not getting the throw in. We'll have to throw something else in. And Andrew is saving and quitting. So
You're giving us a full screen check there, and that is in fact the powder.
And that's Ether. Now, depending upon what Misery Mine Turtle Rock is, that could be big for Omlix.
Depending on how quickly other people might find money or flippers or other things that might push them towards Zora checks, and having the mirror, let's say, then that might just be like an orphan check that nobody else thinks of.
And this may very well be an issue on Nira's side, because Nira is now doing the Waterfall Fairy, which has Quake!
It's near French Vanilla location. Alright. So now... Alright, so we're going to see what's on the Zora ledge. We're not going to see the Zora check, though, because Nira only has 222 rupees. And that's 20 rupees on there. So, yeah, chances of Nira come back here, if there is something important, is pretty slim to none.
Yeah, so, yeah. So this could be big for Nira if Ether is necessary. That's the one thing that we've all got to find out, and we will in time. So yeah, I'm just loving this divergence. We're seeing a lot from our runners, and we're seeing the possibility that Nira could just, you know, get faster and faster with regards to that bow. But effectively, you know, Omlix with that ether, that could be necessary, and that could be last locations by everybody else. So I
think the most interesting part of all of this, though, in my opinion, is that Armlex is going straight to the back of Skull Woods with the fire rod, and that is a 5/6 crystal. So Armlex can complete the entirety of Skull Woods.
Yep, the Skull Woods being a green pendant, it is enough a check here, so it is quite good to just clear it out if you can. And yeah.
Well, no, Skull Woods in this case is a 5/6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, green pendants over in Swamp House. So we get one out of 2 of them, but like we're also not necessarily that far away from a Turtle Rock play if you really think about it. We need a second glove, we need an ice rod, maybe our entry medallion, and a cane of Samaria, really.
Well, we actually need we need the hammer,
which we have.
Oh yeah. I was just trying to think. We need an ether mirror hook shot in order to get across to it effectively.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna say, I know there's one more item I'm forgetting.
But yeah, Smirk has cleared out. Well, has cleared out Thieves Town, getting that crystal there. So that's the first crystal anybody's gotten.
Our bow was in the first check of escape.
But yeah. So Omlix is now about to clear Skull Woods, which is a 5/6 crystal. And Smirk is going to be checking Graveyard Game. So that'll be good. and Nira's going into Eastern Palace. With
Nicely
the bow...
played Mothula fight. With another bow! Ooh!
So that bow on Sahasrara isn't needed. Because you would get the bow from Skullwoods, whatever the case. And that is Omlix's first crystal.
So I'm wondering, how quickly do you dive into pod in this case?
I mean...
There's a lot of items in pod.
I think you have to. You've got everything you need as far as I can see.
I mean, you even have the lantern for comfort, to be honest.
I mean, even if a runner does not find the lantern, which I believe was in Ingina's cave, then you'd still do pods. A lot of these runners are well practiced in doing rooms without the lantern, as Nira is showing right now in Eastern Palace.
Well, the bow that we just saw was the one off the Mothula kill, but the first bow was off of the first chest in the front of Escape. So, if runners are not finding the items that they're looking for and they run towards Escape, they have a good chance of picking up silvers.
Yep. So, yeah.
Meanwhile, Smirk getting his Zora package here, minus the flippers.
Yep. Yeah. I think I just mixed up the gloves and the bow location, so my apologies, everybody. So just a key in the big chest in Skullwoods. We'll be able to see a bit more of Skullwoods right now. And let me see. Nira's picking up some fairies and decides to save Equipment instead of facing the boss. So there mustn't be something in the back of Eastern Palace. And that's the mirror in Skullwoods.
Wow.
So I'm just trying to think. It does help with Tower of Hera and Turtle Rock access, but it's possible that just by getting the hook shot, the mirror isn't needed, but it's definitely very helpful here.
I was gonna say, we're what, a hookshot and flippers or so away from a Swamp Palace green pendant?
But yeah, nobody's gone up the mountain yet.
I think they're waiting for at least that hookshot or the mirror, which we did now just find on Armlex's side, so...
Yeah. Well, Smirk is going to be getting that Ether Medallion. Yeah, the Ether Medallion off of Catfish, so... Just going up to Catfish right now.
No, so I'm just trying to think back to Nobly's question of where did Armix find the Master Sword? I'm trying to remember.
Dark Cross, I believe.
That sounds about right.
Yep.
Armix is the only one to do that.
I can verify that. Dark Cross. So Omlik's going to be checking Graveyard Ledge. Just 3 bombs at the moment. Yep. Just to clarify on Dark Cross, it is really an out-of-the-way check. Similar to Catfish. A lot of runners will do Back of Escape and then do Dark Cross. A lot of our runners have already done Back of Escape. It's highly likely that that location is going to be orphaned. We're just going to have to see if there are more swords in the rest of the world, or if they're basically, you know, towards the end of the game, effectively. Because the thing is that, yeah.
We just got the mushroom turn-in from Smirk JD as well, and it was just 3 bombs.
But yeah. Nira is soon to get his mirror, is what I'm thinking, because Nira is close to the mirror location there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Amlix is going to be entering Thieves Town, which I don't believe anything's in Thieves Town as far as I remember. And, well, it'll be interesting to see what Smirk is doing. Is it checking race game? Smirk hasn't checked race game yet, and is actually going to just check it instead of going through the whole of race game. I mean, you know, obviously in this case it was good to just check it, and obviously since that's how these rando seeds are. I'm just trying to make a slight joke about how definitely checking it and not going through it is definitely the best. But yeah, it depends upon a number of factors whether you check race game or go through the race game itself. So it does make sense what all of our runners are doing here.
I just like the pathing I'm relatively seeing here from Smirk's side as well. You know, not going into that race game, but just kind of pathing through.
Yeah. And it seems as though Smirk is probably going to be going to, well, could be Skull Woods here. Smirk hasn't done Skull Woods yet, and should have everything necessary in order to complete it, which is where most of the runners are.
True. But I think Nira is the only one without the fire rod as well.
Yes, the fire rod itself being in Hype Cave. So at this point, I'd like to say please give a follow to all our runners. They're amazing people, brilliant runners, and yeah, they're definitely they're definitely worth your follow here. It's so lovely they're allowing themselves to be restreamed, you know, for our entertainment.
Yeah, I mean, these guys always volunteer themselves, put themselves out on the line, so that they put on a show for us.
Yep, and it's definitely fun to watch. So, yeah. Just trying to think. I'm just trying to look at the item loadouts of each of our runners here, and just trying to figure out what the issues are. I mean, the bow, we know that there's a bow on Mothula, so most of our runners are going to get that bow anyways. The mirror is in Skullwoods. We'll see if everybody picks up the mirror in Skullwoods. Quite a few of our runners already have that. I think the main thing is that Nero's checked Waterfall Fairy, which is given Quake, and everybody else has checked Catfish, which is given Ether, which means that Catfish shouldn't be too much of a problem for our runners because they've already checked it. So yeah. And that is putting down Mothula, and the bow is definitely going from there.
As we see Andrew here get ping-ponged back and forth by Mothula and the spikes. Happens to the best of us.
Alright, so yeah. Just seeing where people are. So Andrew's in Skullwoods, Amlix is in Thievestown, Smirk is in Skullwoods, and Nira is in Sea House. So Yeah, they're all doing checks everybody else has done, so there's no new information for us, but it's definitely the right way for all our runners to go, given the fact that it's clearing crystals, so there can be no sort of, it can be bad for them effectively. And the seed is giving that bow off Mothula, which will be helping our runners. But yeah. So chat just saying that Amlix has missed throwing the bomb. So basically what you need to do with the ceiling is you need to bomb the ceiling so light goes through so it hits blind in order to trigger the boss fight. Amlix hasn't done this, so Amlix has got to basically go back up there and trigger that. That's probably gonna take a few minutes, which is really sad news for Amlix here.
So smart on Smirk's side, with the pathing that he took to not have to open the big chest there in Skull Woods as well.
Oh, yeah, good then. So, where do you think these missing items may be? I mean, also, what do we need? We might need the boots. We need the hook shot. Just trying to think.
We need our flute, the Cane of Samaria, potentially another medallion.
Yeah, so still quite a lot. And what will be interesting for us to see is what are the medallions for Misery Mine and Turtle Rock, because at the moment, well, our runners, if they could even get to Misery Mine and Turtle Rock, which they can't at the moment, but some of them will be able to enter, and some of them wouldn't, most likely.
And down goes Mothula on Andrew's side, finally. Gets that bow, and is probably going to be pretty satisfied, at least, that they didn't bail out on that.
Yeah, and that's Andrew's first crystal. So, yeah, unless everything is Bombos, these entrances will favor one runner against another.
Meanwhile, Smirk is going up the mountain, finally.
Speckrock was a heart, and Speckrock Cave is the shovel, which is a fetch quest, but yeah, Smirk deciding just to take that shovel and not to take any chances because we don't know what Dig Spot might be. So Smirk should be able to check Paradox Cave and to be able to do Tower of Hera, which does have 2 items. Most likely Smirk will just try to get the items off Tower of Hera that are easy to collect. And yeah, just try to find an item that he might need in East Death Mountain as well. So we'll see what happens there. These are new checks. Amlix has completed his fight against Blind, so that is his second crystal.
But interestingly enough, we do have the items. We could make a run through Spike Cave if we really, really needed to. Having multiple bottles under our belt at least makes it possible.
It depends what's in those bottles. I think one of them might have been a fairy or a red potion.
One of them was a fairy, one of them was a blue potion, and the third one was empty. And yes, Lana, logically, I believe one of the invuln items is supposed to be required. Logically. But you know this as well as I. We don't care for logic here. Logic's logic.
Okay, so the big key is, well, the first basement, and the small key is, well, I believe that's the map chest. So Smirk is going to be checking Harrow Basement now, which, well, is probably going to have an item. But yeah, Armlix is now checking K45, which is just 20 rupees. While Nira is going to be finishing the Thieves Town. Defeating Blind, most likely. And yeah, Andrew might be going into Thieves Town soon. Is there something in Harrow Basement? Nope, just a compass. So that might have been good for Smirk if there was something in Harrow Basement that would have been necessary to complete the seed. And to answer chat, yes, Smirk did find the big key and the small key. So we've got the map and the compass left. So that's one item. That is a shield. And Smirk is going to be opening the big chest now, which is the map. So the last item is on Markula. And oh...
That was a quick shot there at a blind. That was rude.
That was definitely rude. Nero will need to go back in to fight up against Blind. Although Nero is deciding not to at the moment. We'll see what happens there. So, yeah.
Fake was in the Waterfall Fairy cave. Oh, well, in the Waterfall Fairy.
Yes, that was Quake, yeah.
Meanwhile, Ether was on Catfish, so it was a little bit of an interesting flip-flop there.
Oh, talking about the flip-flop, those are the Zora flippers on Moldorm. Pendant Moldorm. I do not believe that flippers are needed this seed. However, and this is a big however, if there is an item on Swamp Palace, or on that green pendant, or on Pedestal, Smirk has a great advantage here. Because whilst runners might go up Tower of Hera, they aren't going to do so, you know, quickly.
I'm just living for this Golden Sun MSU.
Yeah. So yeah, I believe that's technically Swamp Palace access for Smirk.
I love that the cave theme is the Lunpa cave theme. That just makes me happy.
So we're going to get some new information here from Armlek. Going into Palace of Darkness. Has all the items that he needs in order to complete this. It is a crystal, so yeah. One acronym people say is ABCD. Always be clearing dungeons.
Let's see what Paradox Cave has for us as well. Another sword. Smirk getting his Master Sword just now.
So it's highly likely our upper runners are going to be getting that sword. And that's Armlex's sword advantage gone.
Like old-fashioned red boomerang. Half magic. And really, those are the only things to note there from Paradox Cave.
Yeah.
Not required, but both of them are pretty nice.
Yep, Nira has picked up his fire rod from Hype Cave now, and Andrew is cleared Thieves Town right now, so Blind is now down. So, It's just, where are the items? I'm starting to think more and more, even though the idea popped in my head just a minute ago, there might be something in Swamp Palace, and we'll see if Smirk actually goes for it.
I'm just saying, you know, there might be a point here with Hook being in the swamp. Lana might be onto something. She usually is.
Yep, she usually is. I'm not gonna.
She schemes.
I'm not gonna disagree with you there. I'm just not. I agree that Hook's in Swamp. GG, we know everything. But yeah, Smirk going to, well, the stump in the middle of the woods. Going to be doing K45 now. I believe Smirk has done the digging game, but we'll be able to see. Andrew is going into the back of Escape. It seems... We'll see if Andrew goes for Dark Cross now. And Nira is going to be getting that ether soon.
There's a red mail for Armlix.
Yep. Yeah, just enough to key. That's the cape. That's necessary for, well, the cape cave. That's in the Dark World. Smirk is going to be picking up the powder.
Well, unfortunately, we did learn that it's, I believe, a heart container, a heart piece, something. It's a heart something on the cape ledge, so we don't need to worry about that too much.
Yeah, so cape not necessary, most likely. Andrew has picked up that. Has picked up the Master Sword from Dark Cross. So that's putting them all at the same amount of swords at the moment. And we get our first Zora check from Nira here. And King Zora only having 10 bombs right now. And yeah, it seems like everybody's asking for pet tonight.
Meanwhile, we have Smirk coming to join here in pods, so this is going to be an interesting... Oh, that's the Veil MSU. I love it.
Andrew is going to be going up the mountain, so we'll see if Andrew gets flippers. Oh, flippers are necessary because Ice Palace is a crystal, so...
Logically, they're required. You know, player-wise, they're not, but...
Yeah.
Logic, schmogic. I've already said it.
Oh.
Who needs logic?
I guess we'll see if the runners agree with you.
This is sound like it's going to become a lot more like the why is that their game mode. We're going to find fire leads to fire and Ice Palace. We're going to find mitts and a sword guaranteed in Swamp Palace. What else are we going to get? Bow locked bow? That's not the case in this particular situation, but we can only hope.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Armlix soon to be facing off against Elmasaur. So. So yeah, it seems like everybody moved from Skullwoods to Palace of Darkness now. The only person not being in Palace of Darkness is Andrew. So Amlex defeating Helmasaur. We'll see what this gives.
All right, let's see if Pod is the play.
It gives the mitts.
Mitts. Oh my!
Yeah. That's one of the pieces of the puzzle. So now we're just waiting for Flute, possibly Boots, possibly more medallions. Well, Amlex will either need Bombos from we don't know where, or Quake from... Just trying to think. Yeah, Quake is from Waterfall Fairy. And yeah, Cane of Samaria is definitely needed. So we'll see where those items are. So Amlex is going into Eastern Palace. Andrew is in East Death Mountain, probably soon to get that third sword. And Smirk and Nira are in Palace of Darkness.
Oh, we know nobly. Immediately, it must be Cane of Samaria in the big key chest. In Ice Palace, right after Icebreaker.
Why is that there? Well, nothing's there yet, but like what everybody's saying, I'm just going, why is that there? Why is that there? I hope you're all wrong.
I still have the rule set for that game mode saved on my desktop. I love that game mode so much. It's just my favorite.
So yeah. The thing with Amlex in those mitts is that Amlex can now do, well, a ton of things, really. Amlex can do Super Bunny Cave. Amlex can do Hookshot Cave. Albeit only... No, you need the boots in order to get the first check as well. So Amlex can't do Hookshot Cave. But once Amlex gets the Cane of Samaria, although, again, supposedly that's a nice palace according to what everybody's been saying, even though there's no reason why people are saying this. Then Amlex will be able to make it into Turtle Rock if it's an ether. Basically, I'm making conjectures at this point. We'd probably need a ton more items.
Yeah, and depending on what items get locked behind what items, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So Andrew is now on his third sword, getting those 3 swords from, well, Paradox Cave, Kakariko Well, and Dark Cross. The third sword is really where our runners like to end up, you know, towards the end of the game. So that's definitely going to help with some of the later boss fights. Definitely. Yeah. Chat saying we can find out with respect to Desert with mitts. I believe we need the flute or the book in order to enter Desert.
Yes, I'm just interested in see what Andrew's going for here. Is this? I was gonna say, is this the pod play?
Yes, it definitely is now. Amlex is now going to be defeating the Armor's Knights in Eastern Palace. This is just a good safety measure. Amlex does have the bow, and there was an item on the Armor's Knights, although it's nothing important.
Just an error refund. Not even a full one at that.
That is a pendant, though, which might very well help if Amlex wants to... Well, yeah, wants to be doing pad.
Unless you're Nira, do you really want to be doing Ped?
It depends.
I suppose that does, depend on what is on Ped.
Yeah. Smirk defeating Helmasaur and getting those mitts. So now we both have Armlix and Smirk having those mitts. Yeah. I would like to see the book at some point, just in order to see what's on Ped. Just so we don't need to worry about anything being on Ped.
See, what I would like to see is the bold move from Smirk in this case to just kind of skip the Eastern Palace play and go towards that swamp play. Having those flippers.
Well, you know, Eastern Palace does have 3 items, so it makes sense for Smirk to go in here. But Eastern Palace will be the second pendant that Smirk will have collected. The third pendant being Swamp Palace. So I wouldn't be too worried about Smirk not going to Swamp Palace just yet.
I mean, the main reason I'd follow up on a pendant swamp is, one, it's a green pendant, so you get the extra Vita out of it, and second, swamp has quite a few items in it, just period. Swamp is just a nice density check.
Chat saying why pendant swamp, and saying Crystal Ice Palace. I mean, yeah, that is true. Ice Palace is possible to be clearing. Although a lot of runners, and when I look at it, you know, I see why it's that much better, like to go into Ice Palace with the Cane of Samaria, even though it's not necessary. But yeah. So yeah, our runners are checking checks that the other runners have done. In the meantime, I have noticed that, well, our tracker Shandis has said, just wanted to say keep being awesome, chat, and I full-heartedly agree with, I agree with you, so definitely keep being awesome, chat. So yeah, Armlix going up Death Mountain. We'll be doing Tower of Hera now, so we'll probably be getting those flippers soon. We'll just have to see what happens. We'll see if Armlix goes into Hera basement as well. So, but we know that Baldome has those flippers. And Nira has has defeated Helmasaur now, so that's Nira's first crystal. Andrew picking up the magic cape, which might be beneficial. The one thing that concerns me a little bit, just because it's out of the way for a lot of runners and it might be on their mind, is Spike Cave. You brought it up earlier, Alex. Is it possible there's something there?
I mean, logically, we do have it now with every runner having the cape, but we did have enough bottles, a fairy in one, a blue potion in another. You know, it's just, it's there, it's possible, maybe. I still like the front of a swamp, or, you know, I guess we can just fully clear Ice Palace, but Ice Palace doesn't have a lot of items, which is why I like Swamp a little bit more. Always the possibility.
Yep. So Smirk is facing off against the Almost Knights, which is going to be his second pendant. So who knows? We might see Ped this seed. We might see Ped. And Nira is going to be defeating the Armos Knight soon as well. So we're going to get some new checks here from Armlix. This will be Super Bunny Cave, but Armlix is going to be doing Paradox Cave first. But we should be seeing them soon, and yeah. This will definitely be Armlix's third sword, so definitely a relief. And
looks like this might be the Ice Palace play there from Smirk as well. Which again makes complete sense. It's full clearable. It's a crystal dungeon. You know, obviously you should just knock this off the list.
Definitely, and this will be Smirk's fourth crystal. At the moment, crystal-wise, Smirk and Armlix, you know, they're on 3 crystals each. Smirk is going to be going into Waterfall Cave, so that is Quake, which will be very good news for Smirk. We don't know what the medallions are, but having 2 out of 3 medallions normally means you can probably make it into either Misery Mire or Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Smirk's going to get the 10 bomb news here from King Zora.
Yep. Andrew's soon going to be finishing Palace of Darkness, getting those mints, and getting his 3rd crystal, so that'll be good for Andrew. Give a few more options for him.
Almost getting the unfortunate Super Bunny rewards, being a fighter shield and 10 arrows.
Yeah, so Omnix is going left. Could this be Spike Cave play? Oh, maybe Tower of Hera into Spike Cave? But I don't think Omnix has done Super Bunny Cave yet.
No, he just finished it.
Okay, what was in Super Bunny Cave?
A fighter shield and 10 arrows.
Okay. And Turtle Rock. Was Turtle Rock checked?
I do not remember.
I didn't see any movement towards Turtle Rock, but if it was, it would be nice to see what medallion that was. Yeah, Smirk going into ice. Again, it's a dungeon, so, you know, this will be Smirk's 4th crystal, and we've got to hope that some progression is somewhere along the way for Smirk.
Looking like no icebreaker today. We had one shot, one chance. Unless, of course, Red Cane is found elsewhere, but...
Yeah. I mean, if Kane is in Ice Palace, then, you know, it basically means that Icebreaker couldn't have been done anyways. But if Kane isn't, then that's a slight bit of time. Armlix is now getting his flippers and Red Pendant from Tower of Hera, so those flippers definitely give access to Ice Palace, even though there are ways of going to Ice Palace that aren't using the flippers. Basically water walking, that sort of thing. And fake flippering. And yeah, Smirk at the moment is going to do an Ice Palace bomb jump, which you have to get your position correct. And yeah, then you'll just go across to the other side effectively. You've got to get yourself to near the edge of the place, and Smirk does it. So that's definitely good. Armlix has checked Spike Cave, and there's nothing in Spike Cave, so Armlix is now leaving. So we won't be able to see what medallion Turtle Rock is.
Disappointed. I was hoping that Spike Cave would have something really nice in it. And are we going to see the swamp dive here from Armlinks?
Yeah. If there's a hook shot in swamp, do you continue going? That's the question. I guess you have to at this stage. There's so much that's needed in order to complete the seed, so yeah.
This is just almost looking like an Oops All Dungeon seed minus Aga 1.
Yep. Amlix is going to be getting that powder. And nobody has checked... Well, nobody's checked Magic Bat and nobody's checked Smith Chain.
And let's see. Is it big key chest? Nope, 10 arrows. It is an item, but not Kana Samaria. And no, not that I've seen. Nobody's done anything for Smith Chain other than the K45.
Okay. So yeah, that's all completely in logic here. Andrew is going up Death Mountain, so we might be able to see what Medallion Turtle Rock is. Yeah. Smack, not having the big key will have to be defeating the boss, because I don't believe Smirk can be going into Iced Tea Room. Just trying to see what's going on here. Oh, is going up to Iced Tea Room then.
Look, all I'm saying is it's the most ironic thing and my favorite thing whenever you see Kane on the icebreaker chest, on the vanilla big key chest. Just because it's just that little bit of extra bittersweet irony.
Yeah, so Smirk will be doing the... okay. Yeah, Smirk is in Iced Tea Room now, and that is the big key. So Smirk can now get the big key chest, and now just completely complete Ice Palace.
Meanwhile, Nira being our first and only runner thus far to get silver arrows after having already done Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace.
I believe silvers were, well, Hyrule Castle basement, first chest.
Correct, but Nira is the only one who's done Front of Escape.
Yes,
so he just got his silvers off of Skull Woods, off of Mothula.
Yeah, I just thought you said Eastern Palace, so I did want to clarify. My apologies if I misheard. But yeah, silvers definitely help a lot. And the hook shot is a nice palace. That hook shot.
Wow.
It helps a lot in Ice Palace because, yeah, specifically in getting to that iced tea room. And it's just in the big chest. So now Smirk can full clear Swamp Palace, effectively. Although, what we're basically hoping is that there's nothing in Swamp Palace.
I mean, really, we need the flute, the Ice Rod, and the Cane of Samaria, maybe a medallion. We don't know. We don't know if we need Bombos. Yep. And still maybe boots as well, technically.
Yes, we haven't seen if there's anything in Bonkrox, if there's anything on Desert Palace or GT thus far. So, we don't know if boots are required or not. Oh, yeah, and of course we can't know until it's last located because people can't get to it anyways, but we don't know if there's anything in King's Tomb Ether until we get those boots. So, that is Smirk's, well, that's Smirk's fourth crystal, and Andrew is getting Quake here. Nira checking the back of Escape, getting the Master Sword. And yeah, that hookshot means that Hookshot Cave is available to Smirk. I believe Armlix has already checked Super Bunny Cave, so might feel less inclined to do Hookshot Cave. So that might be something Smirk does and Omlix doesn't do. Oh, Smirk has been up the mountain as well, so that shouldn't be a difference.
The crab was making sure it got the last word in there on Smirk.
So yeah, let's see. Omlix is doing Ice Palace. So that will be Omlix's 4th crystal. Smirk is going to be doing Hookshot Cave before anything else. So that is 4 checks there. And of course, yeah, we know there's nothing on the floating island, so that's nothing. Omlix has gotten that hookshot, and yeah, Nira is going up the mountain, and Andrew is going under the bridge. So
Also, I think part of one of the unspoken things, as well as 3 out of 4 of everyone is at least having half magic, is just a really nice, convenient item.
yeah, it definitely is.
Smirk gonna give us that TR play, or medallion.
I couldn't see it.
I think that was Ether.
And that is Omlix's 4th crystal.
I don't know if anybody else could see that as quickly as I potentially did.
Yeah, I saw the FPS counter and I couldn't see it past there. So, but it doesn't seem as though there's anything in Hookshot Cave.
Wow, and Hookshot Cave was a complete dud.
Yep. So Omlix is now going to be checking Waterfall to be getting that quake. Yeah, Smirk must now be going for Spike Cave.
Yeah.
Yes, just going for Spike Cave.
Yeah, so it looked like Ether to me there for Turtle Rock. It looked to be a vertical, yellow part. I think it was that. It could have been Bombos, but I think it's Ether. So that's good news, at least. We have the medallion.
Well, basically, I remember one specific seed. There might have been a slight joke there that entry to Turtle Rock is Ether, Bombos, or Quake. So when I think of that, I just keep on thinking of that one. Ether being ETHER.
Yeah, Mushroom was a 3-bomb reward.
But yeah, let's hope that's Ether for our runners. So, from the items we have now, where could our runners possibly go from all the items that we've effectively seen?
Give me Swamp. Give me all of Swamp. I want to see it.
Give you Swamp.
I want it. This is my Swamp.
No, I don't want all of Swamp. I'll take left side Swamp, okay? You can have the rest. I'll just take left side Swamp.
Nope, give me Argus. We're looking for calamari tonight.
Well, I can't argue with you, so
I don't like calamari, but give it to me.
You got all the Swamp because Smirk is now entering Swamp.
Yes.
The first chest is guaranteed to be a key. There are 6 items in Swamp, plus a bonus 1 item from the green pendant turn in, plus an
And that
extra
is
1
ether.
item. Yep, that is ether. Armix is opening it. But plus an extra 1 item from Ped, and that is the Cane of Samaria.
Lana, you and I, we got this, honey.
Ag! More like ARG!
Wow. Yeah, so that's the next thing is, do you continue? Do you potentially look for that flute in going through because you still need it to get into Misery Mire, or is it worth dipping out and going to Turtle Rock? What if the Ice Rod is here?
You need 2.3 items. I think you continue.
What if the book is
density
here?
is
What if you
here.
need to pull a tablet?
The density is here. You complete it. Everything is here. Well.
Meanwhile, Nira just getting his flippers. Which, as we're going to learn, are in fact required.
Yep. So, what else is in Swamp Palace? That's the question.
I feel vindicated.
Yeah. The next thing you'll tell me is that the Ice Rod is actually on Laser Bridge.
You know, that would be so much more fun.
It seems as though Smirk is in going to do left side swamp. And yes, to clarify to chat, well, we know not everything is in Swamp Palace. It's effectively just that seeing that cane there, I may have over exaggerated a little bit. But we will indeed see if a lot of stuff is at Swamp Palace as Smirk is diving even deeper into this dungeon. We are getting some new checks as well because Armlix is going to be doing Smith Chain and probably Magic Bat now.
Meanwhile, coming up on the left side, swamp checks in just a second.
So we have hammer pegs right here, and that's just 3 bombs. And now Armlix is soon to do the first step of Smith Chain while Smirk is dropping down for left side swamp.
Andrew giving us a frustration slash at the hook shot there.
Yep. First chest is the big key. Second chest is 3 bombs. So, and Armlix not getting much from the Smith either, so the search continues. But yeah, that Cane of Samaria does mean that Turtle Rock is now in Logic. Apart from the boss, which we need the Ice Rod for.
We're going to see Magic Bat as well.
And yeah, what is it? 20 rupees.
And the compass on Swamp Big Chest.
Yep. Smirk soon to be doing Diver Down. For these 2 checks here.
I think I'm going to have to do a new playthrough of Golden Sun after this.
Definitely. So, nothing in the 2 chests associated with Diver Down. So Smirk is going further. And Armlix is now going to be turning in that purple chest. We'll see if it's anything useful. And yeah.
50 rupees.
Nothing
Alright.
up in Swamp Palace, but one on Argus. We'll just have to see. I haven't checked whether it's a map or compass, but we'll be on that one.
Well, we did get the compass out of the big chest. I don't remember if we saw the map or not. But regardless, you get green pendant and your 3rd pendant overall, so it's still worth it.
Do you pull Pet, though? I think you have to. But personally, there's still Turtle Rock to do now, so Smirk does have options here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think at this point Argus has to be an item. If we've seen the map, the compass was in the big chest, and we got the big key at the left side swamps, so... The chest is just 20 rupees.
Nothing in purple chest. So we know that Smith Chain is a bust. So basically what we're left with right now is either Turtle Rock, Green Pendant Turn-In, or Ped.
Give me Ped. Honestly, reward Smirk with all of this effort.
That is Smirk's third crystal. Sorry, third crystal, third pendant. So that means Smirk can now, well, pull Ped.
I just want to see him be rewarded. Could this be the vanilla boots turn-in? The fabled vanilla boots?
We will have to see. But there's got to be an item somewhere, and if it's not on this turn-in, and if it's not on Ped, then unless you can think of anything else, there has to be some form of progression on Turtle Rock. Smirk walks into Sahasraral's hut, turns in that green pendant, and there's just a piece of heart.
A little bit of love from Saha.
So it wasn't the green pendant, but yeah. I'm just trying to think about it. There is nothing else, is there? There's Ped and there's Turtle Rock. But yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think there's anything else that we could be looking at.
So Smirk is now going up towards Ped. Walking
I was gonna say,
valiantly.
I think... Yeah, so I think Smirk never actually checked Lumberjack Ledge.
Oh. So it's Lumberjack first. For Smirk. And yeah, that's just rupees, so yeah. Smirk walking valiantly across
the Dark
green.
World theme the Golden Sun Poison Forest theme?
I personally don't know. But yeah.
Meanwhile, get your drum roll in chat for the poll, the blind Ped poll that we're going to see on Smirk's side.
Yep.
Is it required or is this a bust?
Smirk getting all three pendants out. Pulling the sword, but what will the sword be today? It is just a piece of heart. Ped was not required.
And you leave the pedestal with just a bomb.
So yeah. Smirk is going to be going into Hyrule Castle. We'll be getting those silvers. That's because Smirk hasn't done Hyrule Castle yet. Probably do Dark Cross as well, honestly, and get that third sword. But yeah, for Smirk, this will be all dungeons.
I mean, after this, you'd have to imagine. You just go towards Turtle Rock. There's nothing else.
I think this is the thing with Smirk's position. You'd be thinking that a lot of people would possibly be doing Hyrule Castle, so it's always the question, do you do what you think other people have done and wonder if you're behind? Or do you go for, what you can do that's effectively a crystal? Smirk doesn't think he's too behind, is what I'm trying to, gauge from his actions, and is going to Hyrule Castle to be extra safe that nothing is being missed here. I mean, in this specific situation, would you go Turtle Rock or Hyrule Castle?
Now,
Alex.
if you didn't do Hyrule Castle, I feel like you would feel so awful about that if there was an item there that you needed. But I feel like at this point, it might almost be worth going for the Turtle Rock play just more because of it being a good number of items and you already have almost everything.
Yeah. To clarify to chat, Smirk is missing an Ice Rod, the Flute, and possibly Bombos.
And also technically possibly boots. We don't know. Until we see the torch in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, true. Oh yeah, Smirk hasn't been to Agina's cave yet.
Or
doesn't have that lamp.
Or desert, actually. So technically book could also be required if flute is book locked.
Yeah. The least we could need is Flute, Ice Rod. The most we could need is Flute, Ice Rod, Bombos, and the book. And that is Smirk's third sword. Let's putting powder over pedestal. And
wishing for good luck.
Yep. Well, you've got love. Is that what you wanted, Onlix? And yeah, so Smirk is going up towards Turtle Rock. At this point, sorry, you go.
I'll say I don't think there's anything else reasonable to try to do at this point.
Now, the issue with all of this is that the Ice Rod could be on Turtle Rock, which normally you'd think is one of the most terrible positions for the Ice Rod. But the Ice Rod could also be in Misery Mire or Desert Palace.
Correct. It could very well be on Vitreous, for all we know, and Flute is on the last check in Ice Rod, or in Laser Bridge. Like, we could totally get screwed with this.
Yes, exactly. So I'm hoping that the Ice Rod is on Laser Bridge. I'm actually hoping that it's somewhere in Turtle Rock, because otherwise this will be a forced double dip of Turtle Rock.
And like a forced, like, quintuple dip of Death Mountain, which we never like to see. Ice Rod on a tablet. No, get out of here with your curses tonight.
I'm going to be thinking about, I'm going to be thinking about not the book at the moment. Thank you very much. But yes, if we find the book, it's possible the Ice Rod is on Bombos or Ether.
I mean, to be fair, at least this seed has given us quite the show tonight.
Definitely. And just the multiple ways of getting the bow. I mean, the first bow we saw was not the bow that was directly in our runner's path. I mean, it's always interesting to see the same sorts of items come up, but, from different pathing. So, Smirk going to the right side of Turtle Rock. 2 chests here, a piece of heart, and a key.
Well, that just means we continue on.
Yeah. Actually, I do this for Turtle Rock, but shall you say the next chest in... sorry, I do this in Ganon's Tower. Shall you say the next chest in Turtle Rock?
The book. All right.
That is progression and tablets with regards to Desert Palace.
So that's all of Desert Palace, with an asterisk, could require the boots.
Yep.
Which could be in Desert Palace.
Yep. I'm not quitting. The fourth chest is a key. I just have a feeling there's more in Turtle Rock.
I'm thinking we might also find our flute in here.
If we don't, it'll be the... Sorry, you go.
I was going to say, which, if we do, the best case scenario would be to leave here with the flute and book, do Mire and Desert, and then just double dip TR and go into Ganon's Tower. That's not terrible, because that just means a double Dark Death Mountain in the... Well, actually a triple, because we did Super Bunny before and such. But, you know, only having to double dip TR isn't necessarily bad. You just leave, go to Ganon's Tower. But at that point, it's also just oops all dungeons. Vanilla big key.
Yep, and that's the fifth chest that we've seen in Turtle Rock. The worst case scenario is the scenario that we see right now. The book leads to... The thing is, the book could just not lead to Desert Palace. Sure, you can clear Desert Palace, but the book could also lead to a tablet. So the runner could clear Desert Palace and then have to clear both the tablets, trying to find progression, find either the flute or the ice rod on that tablet, and then, you know, use the ice rod to use the ice rod to defeat Trinex, and Trinex has, well, the flute, right?
Well, let's see if Mimic Cave has anything for us tonight.
So let's hope, because I'm really hoping that there's something more in Turtle Rock. Mimic Cave?
Just a little bit of love.
Yep.
And yeah, Nira has abandoned the big chest in Ice Palace.
That has the hook shot. That is terrible.
Oh!
That was the flute, if my glance was correct.
That is.
Is it a double dip then? So
I think you go through the ice. I think you go through Laser Bridge, and you see if Ice Rod is here. You obviously just clear this.
Yeah. Yeah, that. Was
this one we know is a key.
It has to be, otherwise you can't get further into Turtle Rock. And now we're going to see the Dark Rooms of Turtle Rock. So, yeah. Smirk just using the movement on the platform, hitting the switch, and going around the middle island. Yep. And soon going to the exit. We'll just have to be seeing. Yeah, that was the wrong direction, sadly. But yeah. When I've practiced this, I normally try to use the fire bars as some form of, something to notice. So I go turn right at the first fire bar, turn right at the second one, and then you just got to keep going down and left. So Smirk's got it this time. So that's definitely very good. And it will soon be Laser Bridge. Smirk might be using the cape or some other item in order to mitigate this, because those
suggest maybe not
terrible.
dying in this case. Yeah,
that
I mean,
one heart did help him, right?
I don't know how much I trust this.
Oh.
Did he? Okay, I was gonna say, I think I watched Smirk earlier pull out a fairy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, there was a fairy there.
Still, I don't know how I feel about that.
This is a key, definitely. So that means that the ice rod is somewhere else in the world. Yep.
So do you follow your literacy or do you follow the boots? Or the
You
flute, sorry.
follow the literacy. Huh? Smirk was deciding between two things there. Basically, Smirk had the book, so Smirk could go into Desert Palace and leave the portal in Turtle Rock there to, defeat Trinex, hoping that... Oh, yeah, I see. The thing is, possibly Smirk was thinking similar to me. We'll find out at interview, but yeah, with both the flute and the book, we know that the ice rod is somewhere else, and we know that Smirk would need to be doing Misery Mire anyways, so it would make sense not to. And here's the activation of the flute. It would make sense not to go up the mountain as soon as doing Desert Palace if the ice rod wasn't at Desert Palace. So, yeah.
Lamp
I know.
was in Agina's cave.
Yep, Lamp was in Agina's cave.
But at the same time, we do not only do we, obviously get all of Mire, we get Desert as well, of course, with the Mirror Access as well as Book, but we do also have Mire's Shed and Checkerboard Cave too.
Yes, we do.
So we get a lot of stuff with that flute.
Smirk is now doing Magic Bat and will be doing Smith Chain, so which is the same as what Nira is doing now. We know that there's nothing on Magic Bat or Smith Chain, so yeah.
I very briefly missed what that medallion was there from Misery Mire.
Well, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Amlix is checking Ether tablet. It is just a full heart container. So let's see what happens. Smirk is now going to be doing Desert and is checking Desert Ledge.
But chat does inform me that Misery Mire was Quake, though it does not matter since finding Bombos, but, still nice to know at least. And we're going to find out if Desert is boots locked.
Yep, this could be one thing important, so... Nope. Desert isn't boots locked.
Quite frankly, at this point, Desert isn't really anything, but we'll see.
Well, 2 items in Desert, one of which could be the Ice Rod. And
the other could always be boots as well.
Yep. At this point, the boots are only possibly locking the GT Big Key. And those, yeah, so those bombs were 1 item in there. And I believe there was the map, and now Smirk is going to the back. So, Andrew getting that flute there. It'll be interesting to see what Andrew does, because... Andrew choosing to save and quit. Thinking that he might be going back into Turtle Rock anyways, and that it's close to GT. Well, probably thinking that. Forgive me, we don't know what the runners are thinking.
No, to be fair, that is a good move, but he does not know that yet.
Yeah. Yeah, my apologies, everybody. I'm not one of the runners, as much as I know.
That's the joke. This has been a game the whole time. You've been the player.
Wait, are we the ones on the screen?
We're
I
the
don't
ones
know
being
anymore.
played.
No. Well, Smirk has now gotten his 5th crystal. I didn't see if there was an ice rod there from Lammo, so we'll just have to see. And it seems as though Smirk will be, yeah. So it seems as though all items were gotten from Desert Palace. Smirk will be doing Checkerboard Cave now. Is it Checkerboard Cave? It's Mirror Shield.
Which is apparently important enough to grab. Lana would be so upset.
Interesting. Again, I'm trying not to read people's minds here, so you know, I guess we'll see. Who knows?
Wait, hold
maybe
on.
maybe Lana
Armlex
likes
just showed
Shield.
off. Armlex just showed off being able to hook to the parts outside of the door there, with like the boss symbol in Desert Palace in the back of it. I have never seen that before. I have no idea why.
Smirk finally getting that lamp from Agina. So, not so useful now, but it might be helpful on the climb.
Merc said, "Hey, is Lana watching?" Gotta disappoint her with this.
Yeah, so Smirk has Quake, and has everything to complete Misery Mire, and we'll see. We'll see if this Misery Mire, you know, gives the items up early or gives them up late, because we're still looking for that ice rod.
Meanwhile, let's see if Armlex grabs that mirror shield.
At this point, I'll just say yes to everything. So yes. Oh, Amlik said no. So there we go.
Andrew taking the unfortunate gamble there of whether or not the big chest was important, and found the compass in it, but has not gone to the back of Desert. Interesting.
Just a small key on, well, the bridge in Misery Mire, which is one of 2 possible, what they call God Mires. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see where the items are. Smirk is more like any runner at this stage would want to full clear things just because they want to make sure they don't miss the ice rod. And there's so few checks anyways, so that's probably what Smirk is doing. Yeah. Umlix is quite close to Smirk here, so we'll see if due to sort of optimization, Umlix can actually make it even closer to Smirk, and possibly win this restream, because at the moment Smirk is, I'd say, slightly ahead, given they've probably both done the same checks.
Now, the interesting thing is, does this come down to a Ganon's Tower climb?
I think it might come down to Ganon's Tower routing first. I'm gonna count it as Ganon's Tower.
Because they are absolutely close enough to make that
Yeah.
just the small difference.
And the location of the GT big key. I think the location of that big key matters a lot. And Smirk has now got the ice rod off of the Misery Maya big key chest. And most likely, there's a 1 in 22 chance that the boots are required. I've only seen one item out of Misery Maya. Most likely, Smirk will not be needing to check what that's, not be needing to try to find that second item, and we'll treat this as if it's go mode.
And at the same time, if those boots are required and you do not find them in the Ganon's Tower basement, then you know exactly where they are. Unless we see Armlex finds them here.
Oh, so that is very good news for Smirk. Even if the boots are required, which is a very unlikely possibility, then they are not in Misery Maya. Although Smirk might still go back to Misery Maya if that were the case. Although these are very improbable scenarios.
Interesting. Armlex looks to be taking that gamble on whether or not the second item would be on Vitreous. Going to lose the gamble, but I think Armlex is definitely conscious enough that they're going to be going back for another item if they do not get once they find they don't get it off of Vitreous.
Yes, definitely. I mean, both ways of routing are completely logical here. Smirk is now just using the silver arrows in order to defeat Vitreous. And Vitreous is down. That is Smirk's 6th crystal.
Also, great Auntie Bob, you get that kind of troll thing out of here. We do not need boots on Pyramid Fairy after getting the second 5-6 off of Trinex.
Oh yeah, boots could be on Pyramid Fairy. Oh.
We do not need that kind of negativity in here tonight.
I'll give you an outcome that we'll never know will happen. I'll say boots are on Pyramid Fairy, but we'll never know it because we won't need them. So Armlex has defeated Vitreous. We'll probably have to go back into Misery Maya. Again, slightly unlucky for Armlex, so it is what it is. That means Smirk is going to get a little bit more of a lead on Armlex here. Just looking at Arthur runners here, Nira should have gotten that cane from being in Swamp Palace, the second chest there. And Andrew is in Misery Maya, but hasn't done Ice Palace.
Well, worth noting as well that Nira did not get the hook shot out of Ice Palace.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't... Yeah, Nira hasn't got the hook shot out of...
So, can't actually complete all of Swamp Palace here, which is okay. This may make some other things a little bit more difficult.
And I'm just noticing, did Andrew do Ice Palace? Because I'd assume so if Andrew had the hook shot, but to be honest with you,
I believe he has.
Okay. So, yeah.
Yeah, so I think Nira's a little bit, I guess the easy way to put it is discombobulated in where to go. Because isolating something like just one check out of Ice Palace doesn't mean a lot until you find out that that's your hook shot.
And Andrew has now gotten that Ice Rod ahead of Armlix here. And is probably just going to the back, so has actually, well, yeah. So Armlix getting that Ice Rod. But you can see that, well, Andrew's in hot pursuit of Armlix, really, and Armlix is in hot pursuit of Smirk.
So, to be fair, when it comes to terms of like not needing the hook shot, for example, Nira may not be able to hover, but can Nira Moldorm bounce? Because if so, then it's not that bad.
I don't know.
Unless going through left side GT basement is also important. Can Nira bomb jump those?
I don't know. If I was going to take my guesses on what I know of Nira, but this is pure speculation at this point. Nira will tell us what he can and can't do. I'd say Nira probably could do the bomb jumps on the left side of GT, and I'd probably say that Nira couldn't do the bomb jump on Moldom. That we'll probably have to attempt it. But that's just from my knowledge, but my knowledge is severely limited, so I could be completely wrong on this. So, yeah, I might as well say what I know.
I was going to say, he did just realize pretty quickly that he did not have the hook shot in this room. So I had to correct his pathing.
So, yeah. By the way, get your GT Big Key guessing games in chat. Smirk is on the last phase of Trinex, so let's get it in. Have a few more seconds before Smirk enters Ganon's tower. I'll just go 22 today. Because then I win if it's the worst case scenario. So I can celebrate something. What are you going for, Alex?
Everyone always knows me that I never go for a number, and I just go for Bob's chest, because Bob's my favorite. Yeah. And depending on which route you do, and if you dip right side or left side first and then go to the other, then, changes what number Bob's is.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I accept it. So.
You have until Smirk here enters up the stairs into Ganon's tower to get your guesses in chat.
Yeah. The crystals have weakened the barrier to Ganon's tower, and Smirk is valiantly entering the final dungeon.
You're going to get a very quick whether or not boots are required.
Boots are not required. One is 5 rupees.
I am disappointed. Bob will live on, however, so I am happy.
Shall we?
Unless we powder him.
Shall we alternate this and you do too?
If I can read it, we'll see. I'm going to clear out the... I remember what they're called. Stalfos. Just a small key.
100 rupees.
A compass.
And a full heart. In the meantime, Armlix is defeating Trinex. We'll be entering GT soon. We'll be focusing on when Smirk gets the GT Big Key for the guessing game.
And a small key.
7 to small key.
That emote there on the screen from Smirk's stream, got me chuckling a little. I've seen them throughout the course of the night, and they've been quite amusing. What do we got? The 8th check coming up. Piece of heart.
9 is a full heart.
A gold sword.
And a piece of heart for 11.
Grab ourselves our little small key and we'll head back on left.
Yep. So this will be towards Rando Room.
Now, Armlex does have an interesting position at this point of going right side first and then heading left, because if he goes full left and we find it over there, then he catches up.
Yep, definitely.
Unless it's Tile Room and Armlex does it. Not looking like that's going to happen. Instead, this should be our 12th check, if I'm not mistaken. Just 20 rupees. Ice Rod was the big key chest in Misery Mire, the cutscene chest.
$13th is 300 rupees.
So what I'm hearing is Bob's chest is still alive.
22 is still alive as well.
We're in it until we win it. Meanwhile, 1 rupee.
20 rupees.
A full heart container.
And a bottle.
There's our bottle percentage.
And the next one is Bob's chest. Number 18.
Come on, give it to me. I don't usually win the rando game.
Like not getting that bomb jump to the right side of the big room in Ganon's Tower. We'll be attempting it again. Gets across, goes up to Bob's chest, gets close to opening it.
Hey!
And yep, if you guessed 18 or Bob's chest, you know, you get our love, and basically...
But at this point, there was nobody that guessed 18, but without busting, that would make that Scourge guessing 17 was the closest guess.
I mean, you got the right guess.
I mean, I didn't put it in chat, so it doesn't count.
Oh, well,
and I didn't say 18, I just said Bob's chest. But that makes Scourge the winner tonight.
Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations, guys. But, yeah, get your free rando seeds for life. So, yeah, Smirk now making the climb.
Meanwhile, Armlex right behind, though, going straight for the small dip into right and then into left side.
Yeah. Now defeat the Stelphos here and avoid the Beamos. what Smirk is doing. Both Smirk and Armlix taking the climb.
You know, to make this climb a lot better? Boots.
At this point, this is actually not an open weekly. It's a different type of seed where boots have been programmed out of the game. That's my guess.
Boots on Moldorm 2. Let's go.
So Smirk has now defeated Lammo. Boots could have been in either of the 3 chests after Amos Knights 2 or in Tar Room. So we'll just never know.
You were the one that said it. That we'll never see it because nobody's going to do it. Boots and Pyramid Fairy. I mean, we joked about it, but you did say we'll never see it.
Can I have the spoiler log after?
I say somebody please pull up the spoiler log. We need to know.
Yeah, we need to know. If it isn't on this climb, I think we need to know. And Amlik says defeated Moldorm 2? No, that's Lammo 2. Imagine having to face off against 3 Moldorms that come out of the ground instead of Lammo.
That would be the world's greatest Randomizer seed.
Yeah, it really would. So I don't believe we've seen Boots yet. There are 2 chests left in the climb. And the last chest on the climb is Moldorm 2. We'll see if Smirk actually opens it. Okay, just 3 bombs. Where was that? Where were the boots? Where were they?
Pyramid screaming at me.
Okay, so Onelix is now facing off against Moldorm 2, while Smirk is facing off against Agatu. That might have been a 3 hit, so we'll see what the next one is.
Also, just gotta say, it was in fact Jaxie tonight, I believe, who rolled the seeds. So everybody can blame Jaxie.
No, please don't blame Jaxie. It's the computers, okay? It's not the people, it's the computers. Unless Jaxie is a computer system.
I mean, I didn't ask him, but...
But yeah, so that's Moldorm 2 down. Smirk is taking the flute transport system and is chasing Ganon to the pyramid, dropping down to face against Ganon. Ganon giving information tonight, and yeah, there you go. I guess you are the one with the power, is what Ganon's saying. Smirk facing off against the first phase of Ganon, just hitting with butter sword swings. And it looks like it's second phase now. And definitely just went straight to third phase. Smirk
I mean, this is a single Ganon fall away from Armlix's game.
It definitely is. Armlix is going in to face off against Ganon now. So that's 2 hits on the third phase of Ganon. Ganon teleporting a lot. This will happen for all of our runners, so it's not like anyone will get an advantage. That's the 4th one. And Smirk gets 1 silver shot off. and has 3 more to go. Does not get the fire rod shots off, but the lamps are lit now. Gets hit by the bat and just needs to hit Ganon. 1. Yeah. So 2 hits on Ganon so far. 2 more to go. And now Smirk facing off against Ganon. That's the 3rd hit. Onlix is chasing. And Smirk lighting those torches. Trying to hit Ganon. That's the 4th sword hit, and that's the 4th arrow. Ganon is down. Get your GGs ready in chat. And welcome, Rangers.
And there we are. There's our GGs for Smirk. Finishing 1st place overall in the restream. With an official time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 57 seconds.
Yep. And get your GGs ready for Onlix. With, wow. With a time of 2 hours and 13 seconds. So, yeah. We'll see if they'll go in for the interview. And, yeah, GG's to both Smirk and Onlix here. In the meantime, I'll go through who's finished before Onlix. Kaede is 147.48. Furious Magic is 153.18. Late Bit 155.54. High Ruler 156.34. Joss 158.50. And then after Onlix is CS Tutor 2 hours and 18 seconds. And yeah. We'll keep it with that for the time being. But yeah. Nira's still staying in Death Mountain. Andrew is climbing GT. We just hope that Nira gets that hook shot in Ice Palace soon. But yeah.
Unless he goes through Turtle Rock and... Well, no, because you need the ice rod out of... Yeah, you need the ice rod out of Mire. So if boots are in Pyramid Fairy, then you can't get them.
Just trying to think. Wait a second. I'm trying to think, yeah. So Nira needs that hook shot in Ice Palace, most likely. But Nira is looking for the hook shot and the ice rod, and maybe, even though we know that it's not necessary, Bombos and the boots, and it appears as though Nira is going back into Ice Palace. Andrew going into the Ganon fight. Having defeated Dagger 2. And getting Ganon's bit of information for today. And welcome, well, Onlix.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah,
GG's.
GG's. No, that was a lot of bad things. I don't know. That was felt okay about most of it besides that Thieves Town incident, but I guess that happens. I'll have to go back and check if the bomb was just like a pixel too high or something.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that I was just trying to understand, because basically when you had just finished Turtle Rock, you had the flute and the book, but you didn't have the ice rod. I believe you were thinking of perhaps saving the portal on Turtle Rock. But I think when I was looking at all the items gotten, I wasn't thinking like what possibly you were possibly trying to do with that, because you can save the portal there.
Yeah, I figured that like the ether tablet check there, like the checks in Mire and Desert, those both being 2-item dungeons and like having a lot of filler, are pretty bad too. And if the ice rod is just on ether tablet, I just get to hop back in the portal there, so that's kind of the most convenient time to check it. Not sure, that was kind of a gamble there, but yeah, that was it. I wasn't trying to save the portal for anything more than ether tablet there.
Yeah. But, yeah, that was just on the tip of my brain, so I thought I might as well ask you that first. But you said about this seed, but yeah, just how was the seed in general? I mean, yeah, I know it was a long one.
Yeah, it was arduous. I felt pretty good up until I got the silvers in the basement of Hyrule. Well, let's rephrase. I felt good relative to, again, making a 3-minute mistake until I got the silvers in the basement of Hyrule Castle, and I was like, oh, my early sequencing with Hype Cave first is just like not gonna pay out, because anyone who didn't do that first could just had a bow and had mitts on their first trip through VOO, and like, because that bow was on Moth, and I thought that was like a call, but like, if you just have mirror and mitts first time through VOO, you save so much time. Even if you don't get funneled into Swamp, you don't have to make that entire trip back. So like, that was pretty bad. Going up to Catfish, like, usually I'm just trying to go left, but like, with Fire Rod there, you're specifically incentivized to like start at Skull and sweep down, and also the right crystals were pretty janky this seed, like TR. So going up to Catfish early felt like a decent play for once, and felt good to get rewarded there, so yeah, I don't know, it's kind of a lot of like weird spots that seed, like going back up hook shot, was partly because I just kind of blanked on checking TR the first time. I think it's probably still better than doing Swamp up front, but like, you still need so many items at that point. It's really rough when you're like an hour and a half into the seed and you're anywhere from like 3 to 5 items for go mode.
Yeah. Okay, well, first of all, GG's to Andrew, who has defeated Ganon, and also, welcome, Andrew. GG's. Yeah, how did you find the seed, Andrew?
Thank you, GG's. Yeah, that was a thing. Here I thought I was making all the wrong decisions, but kind of sort of paid off, especially the early dip to TR. You'll have to excuse me because I sometimes don't remember my seeds all that well, so you may have to give me a couple reminders.
I mean, yeah, there are quite a few things to sort of talk about with regards to the seed in general, but just trying to think of a few things.
I know the ice rod placement, that was bothering me for a while, and I was glad I finally found it in what was it, Mire?
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, I can ask both of you here. What were your thoughts of the second sword being on Dark Cross? Because, yeah, I believe.
I'm sorry, what was it that was on Dark Cross? I can't remember.
The second sword was on Dark Cross.
Yeah, I know that frustrated me. I'd gone for so long just trying to find fighter, and then so long with it, when I finally got that, I was slightly frustrated at it, because usually I will do, like most people, get the 3 in the back of Castle and Dark Cross as soon as I get Glove, but just tonight for some reason I didn't. So when I finally did get it, go get my sword, I was a little upset at it, but yeah, it worked.
I went there the first time. It was great, especially before.
Oh, don't get me started on Moth. some days I have good moth days. Sometimes I have absolutely horrendous moth days. Today was the latter.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah,
I was.
Sometimes moth just lives on the spikes and everything's horrible.
Yeah. Well, I think I died 3 times on moth, which was absolutely terrible. It kind of felt better once I got the bow off of him, though, because I could have done it better, but it felt like it was worth it once I did that fight.
Well, I assume you were also late to Hyrule Castle and didn't find the other bow until well after that.
What other bow? No, I did Silverless.
Okay. Silvers were the first chest in basement of Hyrule Castle.
Oh,
I was
no.
like an hour and a half in, and I was like, oh gosh.
I wasn't. It would have been a nice to have because my cannon was a bit sloppy, but I managed.
Yeah, the swords weren't horrific, so definitely could have been worse there. I'm trying to think what else was kind of interesting that see. I think that like the option of like getting that cane and swamp and like how far there was like 2 points where you could have bailed and just like you could have bailed in swamp after the cane, and you could have also bailed in TR in front after the book or even after the flute, but like I don't know. There's just so many items needed at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I'll ask this, but continue after this. But I was wondering what you all thought of I believe it was Hammer on Saha, if I remember at the start of the seed, and everything else was in Kakariko. It seems like some quite early Dark World access.
It was the glove in Saha because I went there, pulled it, and then immediately went Dark World after the early hammer. But yeah, that was nice. I was glad to have pulled that. I was debating just running Pendant Eastern after that if I didn't find it, as opposed to just like doing the usual thing and being like, it's approximately Aga time, let's go to the castle. But that made my decision easy.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I went Dark World immediately after that or not. I don't remember.
I know that there was also Eastern Palace, and some people did that. I don't believe there wasn't anything in Eastern Palace, though, but it's always free checks, so, it always makes sense.
You don't have boots or flute at that point, so getting back there is going to be a pain. Really, all there was a waste of the time to do Eastern, and then a waste of the time to check pad when you got out of Swamp.
I think it was Smirk who didn't have the lamp for the whole feed, but lamp on Agena is such an easy isolated location that it just means you've got to consider that you've got to do everything without a lamp for a lot of the seed effectively when it's in a place like that. So what were your thoughts on lamp being on Agena?
I didn't mind it because I just had nothing, so I was just going to full clear and do Agena. It's not like I was it's just there's too many things missing at that point. I remember I think I just had like Pearl and that was it, and like trying to hunt down all the one-offs, like that didn't seem horrible from that point, but depending on how you ordered, I could see that just being gone forever. And yeah. Weren't too many parts. You could get the fire rod relatively early, so the dark rooms mostly aren't too bad.
Yeah. Fire rod makes a lot of things easier effectively. A lot of rooms you've just got lamps in them. Yeah, you can do.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of nice finding lamp early. I'm 50-50 whether I do swamp then desert checks or then swamp and the rest of South Shore mini Moldworm and Ice Rod. This case it paid off to go to Agina first.
Yeah.
50-50, I think, is about right. It's just like, you look at the state of all your items and just kind of, not really flip a coin, but it's basically flip.
Yeah. What am I in the mood to do today? Agina or Mini Moldorm? Yeah. And today was Agina, and it paid off.
Oh yeah, thinking about the way the items worked, how are you all feeling about going back to, instead of doing the icebreaker in Ice Palace, having to do all those Ice Palace bomb jumps effectively in order to go through it? Because, yeah, Ice Palace was logical for a lot of you. I think all of you, actually. But still, that icebreaker saves a lot of time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, there was a key in the
absolutely
first chest, so it was not the worst, right? Because that's the layout where you just get to go straight right and don't have to, like, go through another 3 rooms to get to where you want to be. So, yeah.
Yeah, it and I was grateful I got it in 2 attempts. IPBJ isn't my strongest glit or trick that I can do, but hey, I'll take 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I first shot at it and was like, that was nice and felt lucky.
I mean, just to clarify, I personally have tried a lot of these tricks, and they're still so very hard for me to do. So it just shows how much of a professional, like all our runners are, and you two are, for being able to do these tricks and show them on the restream. It's amazing.
Big props to the mentor tournament and specifically John
Yes.
Snoo for going through
Yes.
a lot of those and being how I think both of us probably learned most of these things.
Yeah, I learned a ton from John when I was a mentor this past year.
Same.
Well, maybe my co-commentator can rein me in if I'm off topic, but it is linked to past related. When is the next mentor tournament?
Good question. I believe this year's started around June or so. Does that sound maybe a bit earlier?
2022 I think was around June, so probably somewhere around there if they do one for 2023, which I don't doubt they would. They wouldn't. So
I mean, I'm pretty sure the 2022 one was a pretty good success.
oh yes.
But off the top of my head, I'm unsure of exactly when it is, but that sounds about right.
I'm sure if you keep your ears out to the Go Mode Podcast Discord, find out about that when it does get announced.
Yeah, and for the people that want to learn like the in and outs of playing this fast, definitely hop on it.
Yeah. For now, in the meantime, I would recommend looking at, they have a series of Boots Camp, they called it, videos, and there's a lot of good info in there to at least get started, even if it's not going to cover, like, they might miss the micro that helped you do some small thing like IPVJ or whatever, but yeah, it's a lot of good basics to get started on most of the things.
Yeah, just looking at this for the moment, Nira has completed Turtle Rock. I'm just noticing there, I didn't notice whether Nira has completed Desert Palace, so we'll see if Nira is going into Turtle Rock now. And I'm just trying to figure out more about this seed that I can really ask on it. I don't know if I already said about boots, right? Like, none, we didn't see it any on the restream, so I am very interested in where those boots are.
Probably behind Ice Armos is my only guess.
Yeah.
It's got to be it at this point. Unless every single person skipped Left Side Swamp. Maybe, I guess, Bombo's Tablet might be the only other thing that people would have skipped.
I mean, the only other thing that was not checked as well was Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, right, because TR. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and I did Left Side Swamp, and I didn't get the boots there, so
Fair enough.
Did anyone do Spike Cave?
Yes, quite a few
Yes.
people did.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't touch it. I didn't touch it. So, and I was actually kind of worried because, just like I'm seeing Nira now going down, start the left side, all of a sudden through my mind, I was like, oh no, please don't tell me GT's boots locked.
I would have been okay with that. There were not a lot of items left to look at for me at that point.
That's true. Let me double check my tracker. Yeah, I didn't have a whole lot left after TR, so yeah, it could have been.
Do have to step out, but thanks for running this and thanks for having me on an interview afterwards. There's a lot of little stuff in the seed that was kind of interesting, even if the gist of it was just long and do all the things.
Yeah. Well, just thanks for being restreamed, and thanks for joining us here in the comms booth. Really, on Nix, it's been a ton of fun.
Great night.
GG Armix, take care.
GG's.
Yeah, GG's. But yeah, and I'm just trying to think about anything else to do with this seed. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, my execution tonight wasn't all that great. I'll admit it. I could have done a lot better, but I mean, I guess it could have been worse.
I mean, just the seed itself wasn't actually in all dungeons, but it tricked so many people into making it in all dungeons. You were the only person on Restream that didn't do it as in all dungeons, and everybody's collection rates are very high. That these times make a lot of sense. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody did anything majorly wrong in that opinion.
Yeah, I just realized that I have the lowest CR out of everyone that's finished so far.
Yeah.
But then again, you can tell my execution was off because my time was about 2:05. So.
Yeah.
But it happens though. So.
I'm still just trying to think. I mean, I'm gonna look through. Yeah, I'm just trying to look through my list of where everything was.
And I just saw Nira got her butter sword, so she's gonna have the easiest Ganon ever.
But yeah, I mean, what I found interesting, one thing I did find interesting about this seed was how the Waterfall Fairy had Ether and... Sorry, no, it was the other way around. The Catfish had Ether and the Waterfall Fairy had Quake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because I was noticing it comparing, because it was just like, well, some people might have one piece of the puzzle and some people might have another. I mean, a lot of people did do Catfish quite early, though. What was your sort of thought process behind that? Because it was something everybody was doing.
See, just as I was just trying to figure out like what kind of checks I could get in once I got access to the Dark World. Thankfully, I had hammers, so I just did like the standard world tour and got my way up there. Although I think I did the Zora waterfall check before Catfish. I can't remember. So I know I didn't have a mirror for the longest time. Yeah, honestly, and again, I'm sorry, I can't remember what order I did things, but I did kind of laugh that that Catfish did have ether.
Yeah.
Actually giving us something worthwhile. And it was required.
Yep, ether is
For
total
TR.
rock.
Yep.
Considering this seed has been a long seed anyways, and just because we've been talking about collection rates, I might as well just ask, what's your highest collection rate been? Are there that many seeds that are, things are as sort of out of the way as they are in the seed?
I know I've had a couple seeds where I've been really close to like 210, 212. Now probably a bit closer to 210 rather than 212. But yeah, I've had a couple that have been way up there. Not very often you get them, but it does happen.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Watching Nira get through her gauntlet now.
Yep. So Nira is going through the gauntlet. I believe. Yeah, we'll probably have to face off against Lamo too soon. Yeah, so it is good. Nira went right side GT, so actually saved some time on getting the GT big T.
Yeah. Yeah, especially getting stuck in that the spot with the switches. You know, it took me quite a bit of time to get a method down to be able to get through that fairly quickly.
Also, might as well just ask that how do you decide to route VT? I don't know so much about routing, so I can't really stay on it, but it'd be interesting. Yeah.
So let me just put this out there. My ability to route sometimes is terrible. But GT I have down pretty good. I typically will go Hope Room first. See if I get a quick big key. And then I'll do full left all the way around to Ice Armos, and then if necessary, right side near back for then Tile Room if the game decides to be absolutely evil and put it in that chest.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
No, someone in chat who rolled that atrocity.
I do think I set the computer a bit earlier, but yes, it is the computer that rolled this, so there you go.
Hold on, I'm going back through chat here.
It may or may not have been Jaxie.
Oh dear.
Not to throw him underneath the bus and all, but I'm just saying, you know, it's not that hard to find out who rolled it.
I mean, it could have been anyone. It could have been you. It could have been me, so.
I would have loved if I rolled this seed.
I don't know. I think Race Time.GT has received. So
So, yeah, just going into GT routing, do you worry too much about being behind or ahead, and do you do things differently if you feel like you're behind compared to if you were ahead? Because this seed being as terrible as it was, like, I was thinking possibly everybody thought they were massively behind.
I'm sorry, that broke up a little bit. Can you say that again, please?
I was saying, do you change your routing based upon whether you think you're behind or ahead, or yeah, that was basically it.
Not really. I will typically just go upon what places I have left and what their density is, which is the main reason why at the one point I decided to go to Swamp, because I knew it'd be a high item density. Kind of also why I decided to do GT when I did as well. And then what was it? What was it in I'm trying to think. So I got to the point where there was something in TR Big Chest. Trying to remember what it was.
The flute is in Big Chest.
That's right. Yeah. So then, when I got that flute out of there, I took a couple moments, thought about it, and I'm like, okay, it's not worth going on through GT at the moment. So I decided just bail out and then go get Desert and Mire. And then I got super lucky, and I was able to go get get Ice Rod out of Mire, and then finish the seed.
Okay. Well, Nira is facing off against Ganon now, getting a few of those butter sword swings on Ganon, and getting hit by Ganon once. Is using the cape in order to dodge all the attacks, and hitting Ganon in the second stage now. Ganon will probably be going into third stage. Ganon teleporting away. That's one hit in the third stage. And that's two hits.
Oh yeah, Restream went down. Oh. There it goes. It just went live again. Okay.
Never short of technical difficulty.
Okay, Nira's getting the hits on Ganon. That's one silver arrow, two silver arrows.
Yeah, and they got Torch Switch too, which will help.
And it's just one more for Nira. One more. Gets the fire rod shot. Gets the hit off, and it's just a silver arrow. Get your GGs ready in chat for Nira Lightshine. And we'll see if we can get them in for an interview after this.
JSR would enjoy that. Got him!
I was about to say, that Triforce text just being, got him, just gets me.
I didn't notice it on the first go round. And, well,
that sped up Golden Sun MSU, that is just, that is not hitting him for me. The rest of the MSU
Nothing
was
beats a
great.
Dolly Witch.
I'm mouth-watering.
Oh, is that what Nira was using Golden Sun?
Yeah, I was Like, I think straight up after tonight, I'm gonna go do another replay of Golden Sun because I need to.
It's such a good game.
Yeah. I don't know what's happening with the channel, but as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm happy enough to. Well, I'd like to interview you after this seed, and in general, it would be lovely to have you here.
Oh wait, hold on. I got this.
But, yeah. So well, yeah. We'll just go for the time. So Nero finished with a time of 2 hours, 33 minutes, and 27 seconds. And yeah, as I said before, GG's. Nero.
Yeah, this race, I think overall was just kind of a slog.
Phew.
Hey everyone.
GG's, Nero. Nice to see you here.
Good to see you too. That hook shot. I ran out of bombs in Ice Palace.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the reason why I didn't get the hook shot, is because I ran out of bombs and didn't know Ice Palace well enough to be able to know where a good spot to farm them would be.
Oh no.
I would have probably finished like 20 minutes or so ago if it wasn't for that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I believe, so one thing did stick out to me, which was race game, by the way. I believe you just checked race game whilst everybody just went for race game.
Yeah.
Yeah, what were your thoughts on that? And then I'd open it up to what were everybody's thoughts on that. Because they're two different strategies.
Actually, I did do race game, but I always do race game if I don't have the boots, because I know if there's something important on race game, like it's going to cost me more time to do it without the boots to check it first. And with the boots, at least I can make up quite a bit of time otherwise.
Yeah, I know me personally, I've gotten to the point where I'll just check race game I'll do race game rather than checking it, because I guess more often than not, maybe just barely, I can get something useful. And I think it was just what, quarter heart.
Something like that. Something that was not like if I had 3 pieces of heart for a heart container, I would have grabbed it, but otherwise, I'm not grabbing it.
Yeah, I'm on the mindset where it's super early in the game, so I'll take any quarter hearts that I can get to help boost life for later on. But that's just me. I try to be a little bit more careful, but as y'all saw with my moth battle, it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I dipped into swamp. I dipped into Skull Woods and into Thieves Town as soon as I could. Grabbed the mirror. That was nice to find.
Yeah, I don't know why I do it, but when getting into Dark World for the first time, I would go Skull Woods and Thieves Town, like you said. For some reason, just my mind lately, I completely forget about early dipping Skull Woods. I'll still do VOO and Thieves, but I'll forget about Skull Woods.
Yeah, I took a death on blind. which I will choose to ignore the fact that that the game ignored the hitbox, but because I hit blind that 9th time. I've done that hit from that same hitbox a billion times.
See, that's okay. I took 2 deaths to Moth because just my Moth game wasn't with it tonight. And I was so close to skipping out on another attempt on Moth, but I'm like, no, you're here, go get it done. And thankfully I did, because that was my first bow.
My first bow, was that in Sarsparella's hut?
Your first bow was in Hyrule Castle.
Hyrule Castle.
In Hyrule Castle. You were the first to get that. And the first to get silvers, I believe.
Yeah, I decided I was like with how skilled everyone in this race is compared to me, I'm gonna go do some far out of way checks, like stuff that they might not do. And to my surprise, I found the bow, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. Yeah, that's one thing you'll see me do in these kind of races. Like, I'll take gambles because, like, I'm not going to win this race, so I might as well do it for fun at this point. One of these gambles might make me win, but one day, but I don't see myself being able to win these races. But
yeah,
I'm having too much fun doing them anyway.
Well, then I might as well ask you, what was the funnest part of this race for you, Nera?
In the sarcastic sense, finding the flute, and what else was in Turtle Rock?
The book.
Yeah, flute and book in there. Ugh. And then it turned out the book was never even needed. I'm just glad I stuck out with Turtle Rock to get the flute, because I almost left when I found the book.
Yeah.
And then the only reason I full cleared it all the way to the laser bridge was in the hopes that maybe hook shot or ice rod would be on there.
Wow. Yeah, as soon as I found the I kept going once I found the book. But once I found the flute and big chest, I just turned around, walked back out, went to Desert Mire.
Yeah, that was the play. And did anyone ever find the boots?
Nope. Nobody
Yoinker's
did.
wife actually did find them. They were in the Ganon's Tower big chest.
Oh no!
One check that nobody was gonna do.
Oh no!
Correct.
And by the way, me doing the Mirror GT, that was completely by accident. I decided at that point, I'm like, well, that just made me be in last place for the race, so I'm gonna go do full right side, try some new, do some stuff that I've been watching other people do. That bomb jump I did to get over to Bob's chest, first ever attempt. So
yeah, well done.
Thanks. I'm still working on my ice rock or my Ice Palace bomb jump, as you can see too.
IPBJ just is evil. It's hard. It sucks.
PBJ.
Ice Palace bomb jump. IPBJ.
Oh, okay. Yep. If I had done the logic correctly, I could have done Icebreaker in there, but I was not going to go out of my way to look for Cane of Samaria.
The Cane of Samaria was locked behind Ice Palace by proxy, because the hook shot was in the Ice Palace, and therefore the Cane of Samaria.
Well, Cane of Samaria was first checked though in Swamp Palace. They did not need hook shot.
Oh.
Just needed flippers.
My apologies, everybody.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So,
it was in that first chest after the key.
Yeah, if you did Tower of Hera, completed Moldorm, got the flippers, grabbed Kingdom Samaria, you could have bailed right then and there. Which I believe, I don't remember who it was, but we did see somebody. I mean, all of you completed Swamp Palace, but
I didn't.
there was.
I went in. I only did the bits of it.
Yeah, I remember. I know there was somebody who bailed very early though, and
Was
didn't
not-
do left side.
Was not me.
Yeah, it wasn't me because I did left side.
I know I went like. Was I one of the first people to go up and do Hera?
No, Smirk, I believe, was the first one to do Hera.
Okay.
And he started off with doing basement first, actually.
Yep.
Interesting play. I don't really blame him there. Especially as this was a
Yeah.
pendant, and pendant Hera always is trolly.
Well, and the first
yeah.
two checks were small key and big keys, so that doesn't leave much to the imagination.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would have been our luck. What? I think it had to be the compass, didn't it, in the basement?
I remember it as either the compass or the map. But I
Hmm.
couldn't tell you which one.
Yeah, because I know the items were 10 arrows and the flippers.
Wait, basement in back of the backside of the basement. Yeah, I didn't do it.
I am glad to see I'm not the only one who did Armos Knights though.
Yeah, I mean, most people did. Some people went into Eastern Palace really early, in about 10 minutes in, and then because they didn't have the bow, that I think we saw you getting the bow in Eastern Palace at that time. They couldn't go any further, so I think I can't remember who specifically, but I think whoever it was, whether Smirk or Onyx, they basically just went back into Eastern Palace and cleared it effectively.
Yeah, my dark rooms, I'm getting better at them, so I'm like, I figure I might as well do some practice on them. And then like, I didn't do Eastern right away. I did Eastern right away, but like I didn't do Armos Knights until after I did Pod.
Hmm.
All I know is that I'm just glad the pedestal was not required. That was in the back of my mind for the longest time, that boots are going to be on pedestal to get the big key on Torch and bit in Desert or GT.
Mm.
Yeah, as I was going through, I was seeing my number of checks available dwindle down and down and down. I'm like, oh, please don't let this be a ped seed. Especially because once I got the item off of Moldorm, I got out. I didn't grab the pendant. I was like, please don't be a ped seed, or else I am going to be dead last in this race.
Yeah, well, again, this was just a bad seed. Like, I wouldn't say it was a cursed seed, though. That's for sure. But this is by far one of the worst times I've had on a seed in a long time.
Yeah, same. Honestly, I could have been a lot better on this one, but yeah, the seed was just not great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't have much more to say with regards to questions. So yeah, if either you as runners want to say anything, or my co-commentator Alex, if you want to say anything, feel free. But I've just got nothing more to really say about this seed.
I don't either.
Yeah, same. But well done to the trackers, commentators. You guys were, I'm assuming, great. GG's to all the racers, and thanks for have me on Restream.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And yeah, just thank you, Nira, and thank you, Andrew, for allowing yourselves to be restreamed, and it was fun watching you all race. So thank you, and make sure to give all our follows all our runners a follow. Give all.
I think you're kind of tired, Goron.
What gives you that idea, Nira?
Your voice sounds exhausted for one thing. But yeah, I don't got anything else to add.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, whenever we're ready, I'll wrap things up then. But for me, just thank you, Beth. Thank you both, Andrew and Nira. It's been fun.
Yeah, this was
Absolutely.
fun. Like Andrew, you and me need to have an actual race now, not with like 50 other people in the race.
I'd be down.
Okay, I'll see you guys later then.
Take care, Nira.
Bye.
Okay. So yeah, I'll just wrap up from my end. So for me personally, thank you to all our runners, Smirk, Anlix, Andrew, and Nira, for allowing themselves to be restreamed and letting us see this race here. It's been a lot of fun to watch and a lot of fun to commentate. Thank you to Alex for co-commentating with me. Thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting all of this. Thank you to our trackers and Shandis and Erica. So thank you for tracking. Tracking is just it really is something that's so necessary for all of this. We couldn't be here without our trackers, and just hope you all enjoy more Link to the Past Randomizer. It's always a lot of fun, and just thank you, everybody. So that's from me.
Alex.
Yeah, I mean, Goran said it pretty much as good as we could think. GG's to everybody, to all of our racers, to our commentators tonight, specifically to Goran. He did a lot of talking. I just chimed in the parts he might have forgotten about in between, which happens to the best of us. GG's to Raka and Shandis for being our trackers tonight. I tend to like to play that role because it's a lot of fun. A very special one, obviously, to Smirk, Armlex, Nira, and Andrew, as well as to the rest of our runners tonight. It is never easy to volunteer yourself for being on the restream necessarily, being under the scrutiny of everybody's eye. But we appreciate them for doing what they do. Do not forget that you can always join the Speed Gaming Discord at discord.gg/speedgaming. You can also just join the ALTTPR Discord, which if you're ever new at starting it, has a lot of really great guides to get into playing it. Our next race, at least here for Speed Gaming on the channels, should be tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. It's going to be a casual boot seed, which is one of the more popular seeds that you'll see a lot of people play. Starting off with Kaz boots is always really, really nice. A lot of the people that you saw tonight will probably be in that race tomorrow as well. So if you want to show off your medal against some of the more popular names, that's always your time to shine. And otherwise, you can just look forward to seeing some of us again in the future. And we hope to see you in the cast in the on future races.